Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Zach with MoneyPit RC. In today's video, we got our hands on the Injora underdrive gears. Supposedly, these you stick in the rear axle and it's gonna basically make it spin 50% less. That's what I heard, so we're gonna test that. We're gonna see if it actually helps you crawl or not. So we're gonna stick it in the Coupe RC eel chassis build because this thing is a straight performer. It performs really well, so I feel like this should help it a little bit more. I don't want to put it on just like a trail truck or anything. I want to actually put it to the test, something that I could do hard lines, so that's why I chose this one. Okay, so this is the gears right here. This is going to be a very straightforward and easy install. So in this bag, you're going to get two gears. One is the spiral one, that's the drive shaft attaches to. And then the other one is the smaller gear, that's the one that the axle shafts actually go into. And then you're gonna get a whole bunch of rubber washers, which I will show you what those are for soon. So these are the 1/12T. I've put overdrive gears in front axles before, and I do have a video on that. It makes the front wheels spin faster, but we don't want that. We're gonna have just the rear wheels spinning slower. So I guess it's kind of the same concept. It just depends where you put the gears, but these are made for the rear. You wanna put these in the rear because you want the rear wheels to spin slower, just so the front wheels can spin a little bit faster and grab traction over the terrain that you're trying to get over. So let's get this installed and I'll walk you through it. So to replace the gears, you are gonna have to take the wheels off, because you got to pull out the axle shafts. So once you get that far, you can take out the two bolts on the end that holds the axle shaft in, and all you need to do is just pull out the axle shaft. Make sure the bearing stays on so you don't forget. Do the same on this side. Now that we have the axle shafts out, all we have to do is take off the diff cover. There's just 6 bolts there. Just keep in mind that the top 2 bolts are going to be longer because it has to go through the rear axle truss. So once the rear diff cover is off, you are going to see you have a gear down here, and then the spiral gear is up here, which is still attached to the drive shaft. So all you have to do, take off the drive shaft. Okay, once you have the drive shaft off, everything is exposed. So all you need to do is pull out the spiral gear, which, as you can see, if you can, on the top it has a rubber O-ring on this side, not the side that the drive shaft attaches to. You have a rubber O-ring. You have a rubber O-ring on the side that goes into the cover. And then this gear should just kind of fall out. So what these rubber washers are for, they are for shimming purposes. So in case you have too much slop, you're going to put an O-ring on, which I'm just going to match it how it came off. So I'm just going to put one of the O-rings on the top. Just going to put one of the O-rings right on the top, just how it was. You're going to grab your gear. You're going to put it right into place, right between the 2 bearings. And then what you're going to do is make sure the bearing stayed in the axle. Then you're going to, the side that the drive shaft attaches to, you're going to put it in, turn it a little bit to get it in, and then that's that. This is a good time to put a little grease inside here because you don't want to rub it dry. So I just use a little bit of this blue marine grease, put it on the gears a little bit. So before you put the cover on, make sure the bearing stayed in the cover, and put that back on. So before you fully tighten these, just kind of snug it up a little bit, just the 4 at the bottom, just where you have them kind of snug. What you want to do is you're going to put your axle shafts back in, because you want to make sure they get fully seated. So you'll hear them kind of click in. So now at this point, I'm going to put the bolts in the end of the axles so the axle shafts don't fall back out. Once you're at this point, I always like to check and make sure I have these spinning freely. So I'll just grab some pliers, go where the drive shaft attaches to, and make sure it's spinning nice and free. You can do it by hand too. So once that's all good, now you will fully reassemble. So before you go ahead and tighten all these, all you have to do is just literally snug them up. You don't have to fully crank them down, just to where they stop. Because I've seen a whole bunch of people where they tighten these down and it causes too much pressure on the inside, and it has binding of your axles. So then everybody wonders why their car skips or jumps or whatever, and they can't figure it out. It's probably because you have your diff covers too tight and it causes binding. At this point, just put your drive shafts back on, put your wheels back on, and that's pretty much it. Everything is all back together. We're gonna get a battery in this, and I'm gonna show you exactly what it does. Wrong remote. There we go. So this is drastically gonna change your steering. It's gonna make for tighter turns. Also, there's gonna be some disadvantages. It's gonna basically feel like you're dragging the rear wheels. So you don't wanna run this full speed as you're just going down a crawler track or just down on the ground, because it's going to cause more wear and tear. You have to think about all that. If this is a dedicated crawler for like tight spots or something like that, this will be a great option. But if you're just going to run this thing like on the trails or something like that, I really don't recommend this, because like I said, it's going to act like you're dragging the rear end, because the front wheels are basically going to spin twice as fast as the rears. So it's going to help you with crawling capabilities, getting over obstacles and a tight turning radius, but I would probably just put this in just a straight performer and nothing else. So what I want you guys to do is watch the rear wheels and the front. I'm going to go light throttle, and I'm going to go a full rotation for the rear and see how many times the front spin. Ready? So the front, so right there, the rear basically did one rotation, the front did two. So like I said, the front wheels are spinning twice as fast as the rear wheels. Crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I don't even know if you need that much underdrive. I don't even know if you need that much underdrive, but we're going to test it and see if it actually helps or not. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't even know if you can see it on camera. You can see the rear wheels kind of dragging. And right there is what I said, that it's probably going to hurt you if you install this on something other than an actually competition build. But look at this turning radius. Watch. Crazy. So it helps with the turning radius because it basically is kind of acting like a dig, where it holds the rear wheels as the front's trying to just pivot. So that's a good advantage, what I can think of. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't already, you know I enjoy reading through all your feedback. I'll catch you guys in the next video.